Welcome to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig. It's our 10th season. I'm so excited. We're at the midway point. We've got two great guests that are going to join us in just a second, two industry leaders. And you know how we love first-time guests and industry leaders on this show. But before we do that, I would like to thank our good friends at Red Roof Franchising. They're our production partner for this show. They've been with us from the beginning. They're a pleasure to work with. Give Matt Hostetler a call over there. He'd love to talk to you about being a franchisee with them. You know, they've got their extended stay brand with a new prototype. They've got their soft brand and their world famous economy brands. Are you looking for a conversion opportunity? Do you want to do a ground up on an extended stay? Do you have a little boutique hotel? Give Matt a call. They can give you a hand. Let them know that producer Danny and I sent you. They'd love to hear from you. And on March 5th and 6th, 2025, the 8th Annual California Lodging Investment Conference. We've got a new home. We are in beautiful Long Beach, California now. We've got new panels. We've got our two guests, who I will tell you about in just a second, joining us. They're going to be opening up the conference for us with something very special. We've got our trade associations. We've got lenders still making hotel loans. We've got brokers. We've got owners, operators, brands. We've got the boots on the ground, and we're focused on the California hotel market. So register at CLIconference.com. Thank you very much. And with no further ado, I really want to welcome Rachel Humphrey and Lan Elliott, Women in Hospitality Leadership Alliance. Thank you both for making so much time to join us today. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Craig. Super excited to be here and really excited to see you in Long Beach in a couple of months for the conference. But thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig, for having us both on. Really excited to join you today and be with you in sunny California in March.
Yes, can't wait. So, Rachel, let's start with you. Would you please tell the audience about yourself? And then, Lan, if you would follow up and tell the audience about yourself, please.
Absolutely. I wear a couple of hats in my retirement chapter of my hospitality industry career. After 20 years as a trial lawyer and 7 in association management, I am now the founder of the Women in Hospitality Leadership Alliance and a principal and interview host with It's Personal Stories, a hospitality podcast, both in volunteer opportunities as I wind up or wind down my hospitality career, depending on how you look at it.
I love that. Lan?
Well, Rachel always finds things to do and always really inspiring. And I'm really glad that I get to work with her. I wear a few different hats as well. I'm a hotel owner in Acacia Hospitality, co-founder and principal. We own large hotels and we've got 4 big box properties, 3,800 keys. I also work on It's Personal Stories, a hospitality podcast with Rachel. And earlier this year, I launched a class called Introduction to Hotel Ownership, which I teach at a number of university hotel schools. And I do that as part of Athena Leadership Academy, an organization that I started.
Perfect. I love it. So, Rachel, starting off with you again, I'd like to hear from both of you, and our audience would too. Tell us about the Women in Hospitality Leadership Alliance. How did that get started? What are you doing to help women in our industry and break through that glass ceiling and really, change a great industry to make it even better?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to have an opportunity to share. It's actually a really interesting concept because we are actually a consortium of already existing organizations. So right now we are comprised of 33 hospitality industry organizations that are dedicated to elevating women within the hospitality industry. Each has their own lane. They're doing incredible work, but we get together to collaborate to maximize impact. So we are looking to move the needle, as you mentioned, a little bit farther and a little bit faster in elevating more women into hospitality leadership. But we are the equivalent, I guess, in DC of a coalition, but a group of incredible organizations that get together to work together to maximize our impact.
Love it. Lan?
So one of the things we've worked on as part of the Alliance, it's been really exciting, is a podium committee to work on bringing more women and diverse speakers to the stage. And what I love about that initiative, and I know we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but it's one of the things I love about it is that you get to bring organizations across the Alliance together. So it's our first major initiative where we are collectively working together across organizations to create forever change.
I love it. And, you're actually bigger than the NFL. They only have 32 teams. You got 33 partners. So,
I'll
I'm
take
really
it.
liking that, But, it's really funny too, because some of your partners are also sponsors, not only this show like Red Roof, but they're a founding sponsor of my conference, and various other organizations are there as well. AHLA, who you've got a very good relationship with as well. And Rachel, I'd like to hear some more about your partnering with these organizations.
Mhm.
And it's a daunting task for sure, but it's got big rewards and big payoffs for the industry as a whole. So, could you tell us a little bit more about these participating organizations, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they cover everything from hotel ownership. You mentioned brands. Red Roof has the She Leads, has the Ride program. Hilton has Unlocking Doors. IHG has Lift. I don't want to forget anyone. G6 has Light Her Way. So many of the brands, Choice has hotels, have these incredible programs for elevating diversity within the hotel ownership. We have associations, like you mentioned, HLA and the HLA Foundation. We've got AHOA. We have the Latino Hotel Association, Boutique Lifestyle and Lodging Association, so many more there. And it really covers, like I said, this broad range. We've got conferences that are very heavily geared toward elevating women in the industry. So the Worth Association Conference, Hospitality Hued, which launched last year. And the goal is to bring together all of these that have a really singular focus in their lane. They offer networking, they offer educational resources, they offer conferences, career development, mentorship, and just figure out the best way to use our human resources and our financial resources without overlapping. So what we want to make sure is that we are amplifying what everybody else is doing. We're not duplicating efforts. This is where the operational brain that I have goes into overdrive, and in an efficiency standpoint. I know that I've left out several because we have so many incredible organizations, but you can find them all at whlalliance.org. They each have a bio there. They have links to connect. You can learn about all of the associations. But really, it was just identifying, and continue to. We add new organizations every year, of continuing to identify who is working on this space globally to elevate women and bring them all together where we can learn from each other and support and elevate one another.
I love that. And, that's one of the pillars behind our conference. I'm heavily involved with CREW Orange County Commercial Real Estate Women. I'm really hoping that and trying to work to get our hotel sisters and brothers more involved with that organization, because, it's a great resource. You've got attorneys, you've got accountants, you've got brokers, you've got lenders, you've got developers. Every discipline that we need within hospitality is also there. And some of them have just world-class experience in hospitality. And it's just another side that I don't think a lot of people realize. And CREW is now an international organization. It started here in California. It's gone across the country. They've also got branches in Canada and in the UK. And I think it's just a tremendous resource. And, the advent of the jet age and the internet, the world's gotten a lot smaller. So, I think there's a lot there for all of us. So, Lon, tell us about the speaker directory. I think this is amazing. And I think these are great opportunities for the members and your participating partners, and getting your message out as well, besides having the expertise all in one location, click of a button.
Absolutely. It's an initiative that came out of the work of the Podium Committee. And we've been talking with the conference organizers for the major conferences in hospitality. And one of the challenges that was identified was whether there were enough women to be able to be on the various industry stages. And the speaker directory is really to address what we believed was a myth that there are no senior women. And we ended up putting it together over the summer of 2023. We launched it in August with 700 names. And just in the several months since that launch, it's already grown to over 1,200 ladies, which demonstrates the incredible depth and breadth of women leaders in our industry. And we're continuing to add people to the list. So if you know of incredible women that should be added, please reach out through the Alliance website. And also, if you'd like to be added, you can do that. And if you'd like to get access to the website to search and source women for an industry conference or a panel, please reach out via the website. And, we found that while we started this to get more women on industry stages, it's had a great impact in not only starting to shift the needle at industry conferences, but we're finding it's a great resource also for podcast hosts and recruiters and trade press. So we think there's many more uses for the directory, and we hope to continue to expand it.
Absolutely. I think it's a tremendous idea. And, it's the timing is right. I think coming out of the pandemic, you guys probably had a bigger impact post-pandemic than prior, because I think everybody was just doing one of these, looking here, there, everywhere, and not, focusing in. And, let's face it, we all got a whole lot better with video conferencing post-pandemic than we were prior. Now, when I was a CDO over at a boutique company, every Monday we had a standing meeting. It was all video conference. We had 17 hotels in California at the time, 1 under construction, and we had 4 in Wrigleyville. So how are we doing those? It was video conferencing, so that company was really good at it, but there's a lot of them out there that really didn't get the opportunity to enhance that side till afterwards. And with what you and the Alliance are doing, that's an enhancement that I think is invaluable to you guys. And I think that, getting the opportunity to have you here on the podcast, having you guys at the conference is just tremendous.
Craig, if I can add to that, we're
Sure.
in an incredible industry that is so diverse from the ground level up. We're in a world that's very diverse. Our guests are very diverse. And so it's really important that our voices in the industry and our leadership in the industry reflect all of those things. So making sure that women have visibility and that there's representation, that goes a long way toward those leadership roles. Some of us have been very fortunate as our careers have progressed and we have C-suite titles to have an opportunity to speak at conferences, to be quoted by the trade press, to be on interviews like this one. But it's that type of visibility that helps with career progression too. So if we want to see more women in the C-suite, more women on boards, we need to be providing opportunities for that exposure, for that visibility for women. And so when we hear there aren't women to source for those conferences, in our minds, we didn't think that was accurate. We didn't think it was an intentional snub. It was just that their visibility or their recognition wasn't there. And we've already seen, we have a bold goal of 50% diversity across all conference stages. And in the last year, since we've been working collaboratively with so many different conferences, we've already seen those numbers go up pretty dramatically. So we're really encouraged by the progress. And as Lan mentioned, we think this directory is really the first step towards solving a problem that was an impediment to finding those diverse voices for the stages.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more with you. Lon, please.
Craig, you had mentioned that everyone's really busy. They're doing a lot of different things. One of the things we wanted to do when we created the speaker directory was to make it really easy to use. And what we ended up doing, something that started in my mind as a spreadsheet by the collaboration within the Alliance, we partnered with Rise Up, who's part of the Alliance, and they ended up converting what could have been just a spreadsheet to a beautiful website that is really easy to search and filter. And if you would like to have a woman speak on commercial issues in South Florida, you can do a search based on that background for that location. If you want to have someone, for example, in real estate speak at a conference in LA, you can also search for that. And we're also expanding globally. So the speaker directory extends beyond just the US. It's also Europe, Asia, Canada. So we're looking to continue to grow it, but really make it really easy for people to use and access and get to what they want quickly. Do a filtered search, download a spreadsheet, and you've got your list.
I love that. And you know what? You guys put me on your PR press release list, and we'll help you any way we can. We'll post it on the CLIC blog. And you guys have always got an open invitation to come back here for anything you want to discuss, something new that's breaking, something that you want to launch. You know, you've got a home with me anytime you want. So I think what you guys are doing is just invaluable. And, you know, we've done a horrible job at recruiting. We've done a horrible job at promoting from within. But I think both of those scenarios have changed, or they're in the process of changing. You know, I'm semi-retired, let's say, you know, but I remember my mother was my hero. Okay. She told me at an early age that her gender was never going to stop her. Her and my aunt went to the University of Michigan. 2 days after they graduated, they bought a car and they drove to California and moved here. My mother met my dad. They got married. Excuse me for having a great childhood and parents that were there all the time. But when she went back to work, when I was in junior high school back then, yeah, she came in and dominated, and she got out of the typing pool, became an executive assistant. She was the first female corporate officer in her company and the first female partner when they bought it from the original partners. So, you know, I want to see this happen, and anything that we can do here, whether it's the show or the conference, we're here to help you guys in any way that we possibly can. Appreciate what you're doing, and thank you very much for that. So, are you guys ready for our 2-minute lightning round?
Can I let you know after?
No. Okay, it's going to be just word association. Producer Danny's going to put 2 minutes on the clock, starting now. Okay. Hotel lobby, Rachel.
Changing.
Lon, social media.
Great way to get the word out to hotel guests. We don't need to do it the traditional way.
Rachel, food and beverage.
Oh my goodness. Revenue source.
Love it. Rachel, aisle or window? I'm sorry, Lon.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely an aisle, but I'm curious to hear what Lance.
Yeah, Lon, what do you have?
Always an aisle.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Lon, I'm going to go to you again. Rewards points.
Great for vacations.
Nice.
I like to, that's how I went on my honeymoon. So store them up, use all that business travel, and I save them up until I can go somewhere really good.
Love it. Court cases, Rachel.
Oh my goodness. Not as they appear.
Ooh, good answer. Intriguing too. I like that. All right. Last question for both of you. Lon, we'll start with you. Best restaurant in your city?
Pineapple and Pearls in downtown DC.
Oh, nice. Rachel?
Oh, I'm getting the same one. I'm going to say the Perlant, a new wine membership location opening actually Monday, in fact, for the wine enthusiasts in your life.
Love it. You did that with 19 seconds left. Hey, that's great for two people. The last time we did this, we had to extend it to 3 minutes. So you guys should be proud. You don't win anything, but, congratulations. So let me ask you guys each one last question. We're in kind of a state of flux right now in hospitality. We've had, the interest rates are changing, treasury bonds are changing, people are sitting on the sideline. I don't think the cut in the interest rates really moved the needle at all. We got maybe 2 more coming, but where do you think as a whole we're going with acquisitions for 2025?
Lan is really the acquisition specialist, but I will say, I think like in life, every challenge comes an opportunity for others. So what some see as an impetus to new acquisitions, I think others will see as an opportunity. And we're going to see some really exciting acquisitions, as we have seen over the last year, from maybe some companies that are thinking a little bit differently.
Yeah. Lon?
I think meaningful acquisitions aren't really going to come back until the interest rates drop another full point. And it might take until the middle of 2026. So I know every year we've said the back half of this year is going to be the year.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it's this year. I think it's going to be next year. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's what I'm feeling. Although I am seeing some green shoots of people who have been sitting on dry powder and want to get out and get something done. So Host has been really active in 2024. Yeah. They said they're done for a bit, but we'll see what happens and who is an early mover this year.
I agree with you. The thing that I need to push back on with this is, we've been hearing throughout the year, there's lots of money sitting on the sidelines. And the reason I don't think the interest rates really move the needle much is people were expecting more, they want more, and then they're going to get back in the market. But you're never married to the mortgage, okay? You can refi it when things come to a better term. But my problem's always been this, that I don't want to pay more in a monthly mortgage payment because all of a sudden there were massive amount of bidders on the same hotel and ratcheted up the price. So I think, someone like you, Lon, who's in the middle of deals and, growing your company, you're obviously watching that. But I see others out there that just go, I'm just going to wait for that another half point, and then I'm going to, jump in there. So, it's kind of it's a balancing act at best. And it's going to be interesting to see where we're at. I agree with you. I think Q1 and 2, no, there's really not going to be much of anything as we get, towards September, October, maybe. And then I think next year is going to be the big one. But we're going to have an update.
That valuations too are impacted so much by renovations and PIPs that are coming now off of cycle from either during COVID or the age of properties. So we're having to see a more realistic look at valuation as well, which is tough with the timing on the interest rates too. So I think there's a number of factors that are going into that, not just the rates.
I agree with you. And I think, to have a broader based picture on that, there's a couple of other factors that people are starting to talk about now. One of them is certainly, the public liability insurances, disruption of business and a few other things. Those prices have skyrocketed. I keep hearing, not convinced, that the price of materials in certain aspects have come down. I'm not seeing that in steel. I may have seen a little bit of a movement on wood out of Canada, but not a whole lot. The other problem is, and I think this is a bigger one right now, every state in the union has been touched with some sort of disaster. Okay, California's got a fire, a couple of them going on right now. The Southeast got hit with some storms, the Carolinas, Louisiana, Florida, obviously, various other states. Skilled labor, to do the PIPs, do the ground up constructions. They've moved on to certain parts of the country. You look at Lahaina, we're coming up at almost 2 years. And I think 6 months ago, they got the debris out of all of the residential area, and it's almost gone in the commercial area. But Hawaii, like Puerto Rico, it doesn't take much to tilt it over where they don't have the supplies there. And if you think about it, there's only 2 organizations in the Hawaiian Islands that can handle the infrastructure from the jump. And that's the Army Corps of Engineers and the Seabees. And I think the Seabees are busy out in the Pacific somewhere reactivating military bases from World War II. So let's take them out of the picture. But everything has to be imported. And generators for new commercial assets, there's a 52-week lead time. It's like, wow, really? And I just got that information like a couple of days ago. I was talking to somebody, and they go, Craig, yeah, we had to order our generator now, and you wouldn't believe the pricing. And I went, wow. But it's going to be really interesting. Hey, thank you both so much for making so much time to be with us. Shameless plug. Rachel, how can people get a hold of you and get involved with the organization, the alliance, I should say?
Yeah.
And Lon will follow up with you. And how can people get a hold of you and your companies and the alliance as well, please?
I love a good shameless plug. The Women in Hospitality Leadership Alliance, you can reach us at whlalliance.org. There are also live links to all 33 of the organizations. You can easily reach them through the website. Please follow us on LinkedIn. You can hear about what all the great organizations are doing through our LinkedIn channel as well. And from a shameless plug standpoint, I will say, if you want to be in the directory, if you want access to it, if you're a podcast host, if you're a publication, if you're a recruiter, if you want to diversify your board, if you want to host a conference and have some great speakers or some educational things, reach out to me through the Alliance. There's a contact us button on that whlalliance.org, and it will take you right to me. But I am easy to find and accessible to everybody. So Craig, really appreciate it so much. Can't wait to see you in California. Definitely to everyone out in California now, stay safe with the wildfires out there, but really appreciate what you are doing also to amplify the messaging of the Alliance and all of the organizations, and of the need for greater diversity on our conference stages and on our podcasts like this. So thank you so much again for having us. Lan?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, if you want to reach me on LinkedIn. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And if your hospitality school would like to have a intro to hotel ownership class, please get in touch. I'm teaching it virtually and looking to expand my class in the fall of 2025. So find me on LinkedIn and let's talk. And thank you, Craig, so much for having us, inviting us to be on today, and inviting us to join you in March. We're really excited to be with you very soon.
Thank you both. I want to continue this conversation. I want to mark this as part 1 of several parts, and looking forward to having you both at CLIC 8 in March. It's thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate both of you and all the hard work that you're doing, and I know the industry does as well. So anything we can do to help you, let me know. We're there to help you. You guys want to do a special show focused just on the Alliance and some of your partners? We're in. I'll cover all the costs. So,
Craig, can I shameless plug also? It's Personal Stories, a hospitality podcast, which Lan and I are both podcast guest hosts for. I should have said that earlier, with David Kong and Dorothy Dowling and Julian Duan. If you tune in to itspersonalstories.com, you're going to hear incredible stories of hospitality leaders across the industry globally, and really be inspired for your next step in your journey as well. So, and follow that on LinkedIn too.
There you go. Love it. Thank you both very much. And you're always welcome to rejoin the conversation on CLIC Connect anytime you want. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you for joining us today. I do want to thank our production partner, Red Roof Franchising. Call Matt Hostetler over there. He's great. He'll help you. You want to reposition your hotel. You're looking for a new extended stay brand. you got a boutique hotel you want to put a flag on. They've got a soft brand and their world famous economy brands as well. Let Matthew know that producer Danny and I sent you. They'd love to hear from you. And then March 5th and 6th, 2025 at the Westin Long Beach, our new home for the 8th annual California Lodging Investment Conference. Register at CLIconference.com. Join us. This is a boutique conference by design, limited seating. We do have a few rooms left over, so get a room before our block's gone, because once it's gone, I won't be able to help you with that. But join us March 5th and 6th. Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank Lon and I want to thank Rachel for being here today. They're great people. Check out the Alliance. Check out their website. Join us for CLIC 8. You get a chance to meet them as well. And as I'm fond of saying, be kind. Share your knowledge. Now go be amazing.